people of Appalachia think a bomb is a plaything?
Ad Victoriam, Initiate. Do you have any questions about your duties?
Another nuke. We arrived in Appalachia.
As the paladin, I am the commander of this unit, and I'm here to establish a foothold for the Brotherhood of Steel. It is important that we restore society. And the steps that you have already made here in Appalachia are admirable. However, without the power of the Brotherhood, you will be unable to prevail. I am eager to lend that power.
Things would be different now if Taggarty's unit had survived.
Social conversations with a superior officer are not appropriate. I won't tell if you won't. I'm originally from the California branch of the Brotherhood of Steel. I was posted near Mariposa before the bombs fell, and I learned that some members of the U.S. military had created an organization to help people. As a member of the U.S. military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me.
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
I was in the National Guard. Helping those who are less fortunate has always been a passion of mine. Being able to help protect my community was an experience I'll never forget. But now, my mission is to protect you and the other people of Appalachia. High Elder Roger Maxson is our leader back in California, and is the person who sent us on our mission to Appalachia. Sure. My mission in life is to help others and restore the world to what it once was. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals. In addition to the preservation of technology, the resources that the Brotherhood can provide will assist me in accomplishing my mission. I will be at the forefront of rebuilding society. Sounds good to me. Stay safe.
Disorder is to be expected in a place that lacked Brotherhood oversight for so long. Still, this is... You're here. Good. To review the current situation, one of our patrols located a cache of dangerous weapons in a raider storeroom. Stolen Brotherhood weapons, no less. Your assignment is to secure the storeroom for the Brotherhood, and the weapons along with it. I'll put together a squad and meet you there. But given the situation, it's imperative you arrive there as soon as possible. Any questions, Initiate? Paladin Romani forbids engagement without warning. So, we will attempt to speak to them when we arrive. That being said, the raiders have already made it clear they're determined to be our enemies, stealing supplies, ambushing patrols, using Brotherhood weapons to terrorize the region. If they are unwilling to cooperate, we will put our foot down. So be prepared for combat. One last thing. We need to confirm the weapon's source. I find it unlikely the raiders will be willing to talk until after we send them a very clear message. If any of them are still alive after that, we can question them. But priority one is securing the weapons they already have. That will be all. Dismissed. Ad Victoriam.
Prepare for judgment!
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Did the Brotherhood send you? Didn't know they were working with run-of-the-mill average wastelanders. Thought they wanted you strapped into one of those tin cans round the clock. It's wrong of me to judge by appearances, though. Why don't you introduce yourself? That's so. You got a deed to go with that claim? 'Cause, we're not gonna sign it.
This vault and all material goods within are hereby under possession of the Brotherhood of Steel. This requisition will aid us in the preservation of technology and the protection of mankind. Your compliance will ensure your safety.
You know, I'm interested in hearing more about this protection of mankind business. I suppose killing a few no-good raiders is an easy price to pay for the benefit this measly little vault will provide for us as a species. Is that it?
I repeat, your compliance will ensure your safety. Not that I'd expect a simple-minded brute to understand.
Resorting to name-calling already. I have to say, I'm disappointed. Thought I'd be able to speak to someone civilized from a big-shot organization like yours. What about you, Forward Scout? Think we can work this one out? Or are your underpants in as tight of a bunch as Mr. Compliance over there? You do have a point. This place doesn't offer us any strategic leverage over the Brotherhood. If anything, you're gonna waste more resources protecting a place so far away from your home base. So then, it must be the weapons that are important to you. What's so special about these rocket launchers that a top-ranking member would come to collect them himself?
I don't know how you became aware of our internal hierarchy, but it's irrelevant to the situation. You will leave the weapons in the vault and disperse. Now.
How about you? Do you seriously take orders from this constipated suit of metal? Big words for someone who just barged in and claimed ownership of our storeroom. I suppose you don't have to follow the rules you apply to everyone else. Is that it? Because you have a righteous cause? That's fine. This story only adds fuel to our fire. We're heading back to Crater. This stash isn't worth it.
Not so fast. Tell us where you got those weapons from.
Ooh, sorry. I don't discuss Raider affairs on Brotherhood territory. If you really want to know, you can come talk to me in Crater. Don't worry. If it's only one of you, we don't usually kill on sight. Now let us through.
We completed the first part of our mission. I can't say I agree with your methods. Talking things through gives the impression of a compromise. The Brotherhood doesn't compromise. We determine what needs to be done, and we do it. You did do the second part right, so I'll leave it at that. Moving forward, we still need to track down the weapon source. That man appeared to know something. I don't care how you get it out of him, but make sure you get it. I thought the Raiders were bad enough before that vile cretin opened his mouth. And we just let him... This is off topic, Initiate. Don't ask me a question like that again. We'll set up some Protectrons to guard it, and transfer the weapons back to Fort Atlas. After that, it can be used as an intermediate storehouse for anything our patrols find in the northern part of Appalachia. Yes, it's dangerous, but not as dangerous as it would be to leave this thread hanging. Our duty as the Brotherhood is to preserve the future of mankind. To be relentless in our removal of threats, present and future. I wouldn't send you on this mission if I didn't think you were capable of coming back alive. This is your top priority. The longer we let these weapons spread, the more difficult it will be to track down all of them.
Can't believe they had the nerve to just barge in like that. That Knight acts like some kind of righteous savior.
I told you. And they're only gonna get more confident.
I won't let them. Do we have their patrol routes yet? A couple ambushes ought to take them down a notch.
We'll have to discuss this later. You've got a visitor.
So, you really came? Huh. To be honest, I didn't expect the Brotherhood to show its face around here with anything less than a fully armored battalion. Life is just full of surprises, isn't it? So, what can I do for you, oh honorable emissary of steel? Brilliant! Well, let me just pop open a bottle of Nuka shot, and we'll kick back, exchange stories, tearfully share all the details of our tragic pasts. But I suppose yours goes something like this. You were a wayward soul, lost, looking for purpose. Then the Brotherhood of Steel came along and put a badge of honor on your chest. Made you feel like you really mattered. So now, you'll do anything for them. Like risking your life to come to Crater and ask about those weapons you confiscated. Well, here's my backstory. The Brotherhood of Steel pointed their guns at my face, stole my property. So that property is their problem now. I'm not telling you a damn.
Don't you think you're being stubborn, Pierce? We have a good little Brotherhood peon here at our disposal. We can make use of that.
We've been over this. There's no compromising with people like the Brotherhood. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
We don't know that yet for sure. Besides, everyone has their own motivations. Our visitor might have one worth talking about.
I won't rely on a betrayal to take them down. You should know that. I have nothing left to discuss. I've given you my answer, Initiate. Now for your sake, I'd suggest you don't stick around.
Hey, you. Don't leave yet. I've got something to say. Don't mind Pierce, he's stubborn. Holds too tightly to his morals. I'll tell you about the weapons, but you're gonna need to give me something in return. Interested? I want intel on the Brotherhood. Records, roster, correspondence. You've got people specialized in keeping track of that sort of thing, right? Transfer their data onto this holotape and bring it back to me. Then I'll tell you what you want to know. We're not on friendly terms with the Brotherhood. What do you think we're gonna do with it? Don't worry. If the Brotherhood is as powerful as they are confident, then it shouldn't make any difference, right? How do you know about our war room? About that vault where you ambushed Pierce? We have eyes the same way you do. Remember it. This isn't a betrayal. It's just good business sense. Toodles.
Anything you need to know? Raiders, huh? If they're anything like the raiders we've encountered on the expedition route, then my guess is the situation isn't pretty. All right, how can I help? I think I understand. The funny thing about data is you don't know what's real or not. Not unless you gathered it yourself. To be honest, I was working on encrypting my terminal for this kind of situation. So, if anyone accessed it who wasn't supposed to, they would just get false info and none would be the wiser. I didn't finish, but you can still use the fake data I created. Should be clearly labeled in the files. Just, don't select the wrong one. This is the raiders we're talking about. It'd be bad news if they got an advantage on us. Worse, if the Knight found out it was because of me. It's not likely to happen anytime soon, but an enemy could use our names, skills, and history to trick other members or develop a targeted strategy. I may also begin storing schematics and stockpile records on there. Right now, the Knight is doing it all by hand. Well, for now, I just hope we don't make too many enemies. I don't expect much from the raiders, but maybe they're smarter than they give off. Well, you know, just trying to help where I can. Rusty nails and live wires are fun and all, but sometimes it's also nice to write code without having to get my hands dirty. Not a problem. I'm here to help.
Atlas Project Research Log 104. Lieutenant Marks and I have begun calibrating the ion beam accelerator. We've hit a plateau at the 300 MeV threshold. Micro variations in the magnetic flux are disrupting the Betatron induction loop. The Lieutenant is working on a firmware update for the coil controller. She said she'll have the wobble out by Monday. Assembly of the main device remains on schedule. The Air Force is nothing if not punctual. Colonel Oberlin is still pressing for the facility to be fully operational before the end of the year. As much as I want to see my research in action, we need to proceed carefully. If this goes wrong, the results could be catastrophic. Atlas has the potential to change the world. Or destroy it. Atlas Project Research Log 292. 93. It's been 5 months. 5 months since that day. They abandoned me. The military never believed in Atlas. It was just another weapon. When the nukes fell, well, what did it matter? Atlas, this research. It's been my life's work. We need Atlas. The world needs Atlas. Now more than ever. I have to finish it. Everything I need, it's all here. I just need time. Hands. I've activated all the robots. They're security bots. They were programmed for this, but it's all I've got. I can make it work. Weapons at the ready. I've replaced the main lens, finished the particle analysis. I think the accelerator is finally stable. I'm so tired. But I have to keep going. Just a little more. It's almost done. Almost done.
Why can't people mind their own business? You've got the holotape? Good, thanks. The weapons don't have one source. Some of them we looted off a group of unfortunate settlers. We've also traded them among ourselves. Some old friends visited Crater a while back wielding that firepower, claiming they earned it in a fight. They were bragging about it till the day they left. Said they sent some big armored folks running. I can't confirm that the losers were Brotherhood, but that was your logo on the side of those weapons, wasn't it? Doesn't matter to me. Now, I told you what I know. With any luck, we won't talk again. Yep. They may or may not have more, but they've definitely come in contact with them. West. They said they passed through Ohio before coming here. I don't know how much further out they went. They wouldn't shut up about it, so I learned to tune it out pretty quick. But I do remember them passing around a helmet with a bullet hole through its visor. A trophy from the Fallen. Don't change your mind. This was a one-time offer, and it's one that neither of us will speak of again.
I see you returned from Crater. Standing by for your report.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day, but look what else it brought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
That's not what I was hoping to hear. All right. Tell me about the sources. I see. And are those raiders still at Crater? As a matter of fact, it does. If they were still here, then we'd have business with them. But they're not. So we need to focus on Appalachia. And the other one. Foundation 2. This is bad. Worse than I thought. At this rate, all of Appalachia will be toting these rocket launchers. All because of... Forgive me, Initiate. I lost my composure. We need to follow up with Foundation as soon as possible. You don't have clearance for that information, Initiate. Proceed with your report. Peaceful or not, civilians should not have access to that kind of technology. It's too easy for things to go wrong. Take the Great War as an example. That catastrophe is the inspiration for our mission today. So that's everything. That was a thorough report. The Brotherhood appreciates your diligence looking into this matter. Our next step is to deal with Foundation. Paladin Romani already had plans to establish contact, so she'll want to hear about this. No need to expound everything. I'll follow up later with a more detailed report. A knight's helmet? It must be. 2 other knights embarked with us from the west coast. Knight Thornberry returned partway through the journey. Knight Connors gave his life in honorable service to the Brotherhood. Show the proper respect when asking about him. To think they held onto his helmet like a trophy. It's unforgivable. That's classified information, Initiate. Not every operation runs perfectly. All you need to know is that we're fixing it. Ad Victoriam. For your sake, I hope this is a scheduled visit, Initiate. Things would be different now if Taggarty's unit had survived.